the tithe, right? It's 10% of the herd or of the flock, even of whatsoever passeth under the rod, right? The 10th shall be holy unto Hawa, right? This is directly what Cain was doing, right? Remember Cain and Abel. That's straight Cain and Abel, or Con, right? What are we talking about? We're talking about the shepherd's crook, right? We're talking about an instrument for threshing. We're talking about the threshing floor, right? Isaiah 28:27, right? What is it? Wait. Number 11, power, authority, power, and authority. Put no power before your power. This is why, you know what I'm saying, it's about the creator. You know what I'm saying? You don't put any power before your power. So, you know, let me be clear. You see, you don't put David, right? David is not your king. He is the king, right? He is the prester. He is not your prester. There's a difference, because if he's your prester, that is putting a power before your power. That means you're taken, right? You're not being given, and the prester is to be given unto you. Okay, that's Psalms 125, right? For the rod of the wicked, right, shall not rest, right? They don't take that Sabbath upon the lot, right, of the righteous. Lest the righteous put forth their hands unto iniquity. Okay? Number 12, a tribe, a race. A what? A tribe, a race. A tribe or race. That's Psalms 74. So a rod or a red or a reed or a roost or the root. The rod is the tribe. And if you notice, check out the definition of rod. There's 12 definitions, one for each tribe. And then you have a 13th definition that pops off, right? A rod of iron, the mighty power of Christ. And as far as Revelation 19 is concerned, 15. And we dug on that because we dug on the precepts because we understand Genesis chapter 3. But what we're really talking about, we're talking about that Psalms 2. Psalms 2. Now, again for the dismount. What are we talking about here? Well, it goes back into Daniel and Nebuchadnezzar. You see, the head of gold is the Babylonian-ish monarch, the lion, right? The head. This is where you have who? Nebuchadnezzar, Belshazzar, right? Isn't that Daniel? Co-ruler. Look at that timeline. All right, then you have the breast and arms of silver, the Medo-Persian Empire, the bear, Cyrus and Darius, right? Thighs and bellies of brass, the Greek, Macedonian kingdom, the leopard, Alexander the Greek, the legs, right? Now, what's the legs? The legs is what? The law. The great Roman Empire is not just the Eastern and Western Roman Empire, right? Not just the Byzantine and the whole, Holy Roman Empire. It's not just that, right? We're talking. It's all happening right here. We're talking not Roman, but Romani. We're talking Jacob. We're talking Esau. And then 10 toes down, the feet, right? The iron and part clay. The 10 toes, or what? The 10 lost tribes, right? Right? Ten lost tribes. All right, so now let's go back. Because we're only talking Nimrod. Now Nimrod is a great hunter, right? It came to be synonymous with tyrant. Okay? Let's dig on it. Nimrod. Let's get it by the wiki. Because you have to remember that Nebuchadnezzar, again, is a variation, a duplication, a phantom of Nimrod. Oh, come on, man. You need to get reloaded. Nimrod. So, real quick, what's a Nimrod? A Nimrod is assign, allot, take. Assign, allot, take the red ruddy. Right? Alright. Nimrod. Come on, computer. Alright, Nimrod. A biblical figure. Okay? According to the book of Genesis, a book of Chronicles, the son of Cush. Nimrod was also described as the king of the land of Shinar, Mesopotamia. Right? Now, is it Mesopotamia or Mesoamerica? And we dug on it. And now that we can really see through a lot of the hijack, you can see Tamia, right? Right there. The Bible states that he was a mighty hunter before the Lord, and began to be mighty in the earth. Extra biblical traditions associate him with the Tower of Babel, led to his reputation as a king who was rebellious against God. Okay. Now, Nimrod is slain by Esau. Nimrod, the slaying of Nimrod pops off everything dealing with Jacob and Esau when it comes down to the inheritance, when it comes down to the promise, and how Esau became head of the vassal houses or the vessel houses, and he became great, and because of that he became king of all, or the Khan of all of Mount Seir, okay, or Egypt. Now, historians have failed to match Nimrod with historically attested figures. Well, I just did. Nimrod may not represent any one personage known to history, right? That's that sinus of follows. That's that syncretism, right? That's that Sophoman spell barrier. And various authors have identified him with several real and fictional, right, figures of Mesopotamian antiquity, right? Because they're giving it to you now. What they're saying here, and we dug on this before, is what they're saying here is that they gave you not a fictional story, but a factional story. Factional, right? All right. Now it includes the Mesopotamian god Ninurta, right? Or let's see, or a conflation of two Akkadian kings, King Sargon, right? His grandson Naram Sin. There's that sin, and then they give you this date, right? Now I find it funny because isn't that the same scrambled number for 1822? Right? You know, just saying. Talmud, Ninurt. Go back. From when? 1243 to 1207, right? And we already dug on how this BCE just means that the numbers is flipped from the way you understand it. So you're talking about 1207 to 1243, and 1243 takes us back right into what we were digging on when it came down to Nim, as well as the rod originating in the mid 1200s, right? Now, several ruins near east are named after him. Okay, all right. Now, the first biblical mission of Nimrod is the what? Table of Nations. What was that? The Table of Nations. Okay. Now you got Europa. You got Africa. Or, look, Ham, Cham, Asia, Sem. Oh, man. I need to, like, let me see if I can get the whole thing. Oh, we're just talking about the generations of Noah, right? That Noah Job. I promise you, we're only talking about the 9 worthies. And when you talk about the 9 worthies, you are talking about Noah, Job being a worthy, right? But also that, you know, when it comes down to the one that is worthy as far as that title of tyrant, this is where you get Nebuchadnezzar also. And you see how this Nebuchadnezzar ties back in with oh, I lost my train of thought. Ties back in with what's the name? Look at that. All right, broadly referred to as the origins, almost look like Aboriginal, right? Gentium is a genealogy of the sons of Noah according to the Hebrew Bible, Genesis 10:9, right? Now we just dug on that. You know what? Let's go back. Go back. Then we just, where was it? Where was the thing we were talking about? Nim, right? And how the Nim originally pops off and right with his Nimrod in the mid 13th century, right? All right. Now we're talking about, and then he also said we came across where he gave you the scripture, Genesis 10, verse 8 and 9. And we were digging on that in the definition. I think that was in the definition we got. So, going back, let's go back. Now, let's see here. And a mighty one in the earth, and the mighty hunter before the Lord. Okay. This is repeated in the first book of Chronicles, chapter 1, verse 10. And the land of Nimrod used as a synonym, right, for Assyrian in Mesopotamia, as mentioned in the book of Micah 5:6. And they shall waste the land of Syria with the sword, and the land of Nimrod and the entrances thereof. Thus shall deliver us from the Assyrian, right? When he cometh into our land, when he treadeth within our borders, right? Hijack 101. Genesis says that the beginning of his kingdom, right? The beginning of his kingdom were the towns of Babel, right? Eric, Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar, or Mesopotamia, Genesis 10:10. Understood variously to imply that he either founded these cities, ruled over them, or both, owing it to ambiguity in the original Hebrew text. It is unclear whether it is he or Ashur, right? Asher, right? Who additionally built Nineveh, Rehoboth, Ir, and Kala, right? And Kala. Now, Kala sounds a lot like, Kalelus. All right, so both interpretations are reflected in English versions, right? Sir Walter Raleigh devoted several pages in his History of the World, right? When did that pop off? In 1614, reciting part scholarship regarding the question of whether it had been Nimrod or Asher who built the cities of Assyria. Now, recently, one of the links that had popped up in the drop chatter had produced this picture I want to show you guys for the dismount, and really want you to dig on it. This here is a picture of Kalelus. This is a picture of the Grand Canyon. This is a picture of Moab. This is what they call the Orion Zone. And in this Orion Zone, you have two layouts, okay, of Orion. There are two layouts of Orion. The city of Mintaka and the city of Mintaka right here. These cities, this is the center point in which if you rotate it, you'll get a different layout because these are twins. One represents Esau and one represents Jacob. And you know that this one represents Esau because this is Esau in the chariot as a mighty hunter. And this is Jacob with the club, with the rod. But we're only talking about cities of gold. We're only talking about Kalelus. You do your homework, get it in, and we'll bring it back for another time. But just remember, talking about Nimrod. I hope you guys were able to enjoy this episode of Templar Up. I hope you guys are fed a little something. Give you something to dig on, meditate, activate. Remember, when it comes down to the living being, there are different types of man. You have what they call a monster or the manster. You have what they call the demon or the D-man. And you also have what they call the human or the Hawa man. And that's that Genesis chapter 2. Matahab to the family. Matahab to the tribe. Haleh Hawa. Haleh Hawa. Peace.